Alright guys, here's what we're making today. The Darling Wallet by PursesbyHolly. It's really what I call the mini architect wallet, just with a little bit of a twist. So you have a magnetic snap here, or you could use a fashion snap. On the back you have a little baby zipper pocket, just big enough for a few coins. That's all you need. Then you open it up and you have this little place here that has 8 card slots, 4 on each side. You have 4 card slots here and a slip pocket. And then on the bottom you have a slip pocket and an ID window. So a total of 12 card slots, 2 slip pockets, an ID window, and a zipper pocket. A lot for a tiny little wallet. The Darling Wallet by PursesbyHolly. Let's get started. Hi everyone, this is Barbie with Jeannie's Designs. I'm getting ready to make the Darling Wallet. It's a small version of the Architect Wallet, both which I absolutely love. So you'll see what this one turns out to be at the end. It is a pattern by PursesbyHolly, and it's a very cute pattern. Very cute little wallet, but it holds quite a bit. So the first thing we're going to do is make some marks on our exterior piece. This is our exterior piece. Let me see what you can see. Hold on. This is our exterior piece. And we are going to go in and add some double-sided tape after we mark where we're going to fold. I have a video tutorial out there. I can't remember how long it's been, and so I thought I'd just make another one. It's been a while. I actually need to make some stock items, and this is one of the things that I like to keep in stock. So let's add some 1/4 inch double-sided tape on all those sides. This is black cork. And then I'm using some white and black lining material. Whoops. I don't know what happened there. Okay. Perfect. Then you have these are called 2 side bindings. And we're going to divide those down the middle and add tape on each side as well. Yeah. These are little binding pieces for the middle section. It's a great way to close up some raw edges. Holly has some new patterns that are either out as the release of this video or are coming. Very cute. Okay, so those are done. We put those aside. And then our card slots, there are 3 square card slots and 9 of the odd-shaped card slots, I believe. And I'm just putting some double-sided tape, and we're going to fold those over. Yeah, there's 9 of these. Now, I often will not mess around with putting tape on these and just fold them over as I sew them, but I find that they look better if you fold them consistently. So I started just doing this so it looks good. This is water resistant canvas from your vinyl source. It's one of my favorites. Okay. All right, let's fold these over. All right, so now we're going to do our ID window. Measure down a little bit from the top. Add double-sided tape on each long edge, or you could do it on all four. Then we're going to add our clear vinyl piece right there, nice and evenly. Okay. The one thing about clear vinyl is if you get it in the wrong place and try and pull it up, the double-sided tape sticks to it like crazy. It's not a good thing. And now we're going to fold the top down. Then we're going to stitch all the way around the inside. And I think I'll just start right here. Yeah. I'm using black thread, so I'm just going to back stitch. You won't ever be able to see it. All right, and then we're going to stitch across the top. Just to secure that right across the top. It's like a top stitch. All right, perfect. Burn any little threads that you need to. Okay, and there's our clear window. Love it. Okay, set that aside. I'll put that up there. Then we're going to do all our card slots. So we put tape on there, we folded them down, and now we're going to just do a top stitch. And I'm going to do a chain stitch. In other words, I'm going to just stitch them without cutting my threads on all of them. Then I'll cut them apart. I am back stitching at each one. This is the only way to do these, really. 4 more. Last one. Okay. Okay, take your zipper without the zipper pull on. Let me burn my edges here. Lay it wrong side up, and we're going to attach one of our zipper pocket linings to the top. And I'm just going to put a few clips on there, and then we're going to baste that on at the seam allowance in the pattern. Let me get my... You use a lot of tape on this, and so you got to be a little careful. I'm just going to wipe it down a little bit. Ouch. There we go. All right. I'm trying to follow her directions to a T. I don't normally do that, but I'm going to. Okay, now we're going to press that away from the zipper tape, just like that. And you could top stitch that if you want to. She doesn't. And then we're going to add this one the same way. So here's this, right side down. Just make sure that your sides are matching so that the right sides of your lining are together. Okay. I really follow the pattern. But you know, when you do tutorials, it's really helpful for others if you follow the pattern. So, I'm trying to. Alright, so now this is what you have. So this is the wrong side. Oops. Hold on, that got gnarled in there. Let me fix that. It's black on black, so it's like, what? What is it? There we go. Let me fix that. My zipper tape got bent over just a hair. big deal. Okay. Now, like normal, you could, if you wanted to, baste those down, and I think I will. I think I will. I'm going to baste them down. You could actually iron this waterproof canvas, water-resistant canvas as well. Okay. All right. There we go. Perfect. All right, let's put our zipper pull on. And it's a number 3 zipper. I know. I'm living dangerously, aren't I? Okay. Oh my gosh. First try. It's a miracle. Okay. Now let's add some tape here on this right side of the zipper, but you're seeing the wrong side of your lining. Okay. All right, hold on a second. Okay, so I did add my tag there on the back, just under where this ends up being the back where the zipper is. And now we're going to add our zipper inside there, and I always forget I should do this one at a time because it gets very sticky. Just make sure you get it nice and centered in there. And that you have about the same amount of lining and zipper tape on each side. Perfect. Okay. All right. I'm going to stitch all the way around. I'm going to do it just a little different than she does. All the way around. Then we'll turn and close our zipper pocket. Trying to keep the black thread off the floor. I don't think it's going to happen. Okay. Make sure you have your zipper pull on. Alrighty. Let's clean that up. Then we're going to pull our zipper pull pocket down. Find a few clips. It ends up being a really small zipper pocket, and that's okay. Doesn't need to be anything fancy. Okay, let's fold it to the side. Close up that side. Go across the bottom. And back up the other side. Okay, and then we will trim off our zipper tape. You don't want that in your seam, ending up in your seam. Perfect. And I'm going to trim my seam here just a little. There we go. And then you have a really cute little zipper pocket. Isn't that cute? I used the number 3. Number 3. Okay, next step. Okay, take one of your slip pockets right side up and lay your ID window right across the bottom. And we're going to just sew that on those 3 sides, leaving obviously the top open. Just basting. 1/8 of an inch. Okay, and then what I like to do is grab a credit card, if I can get it. And if you don't do this, your card is going to go all the way to the bottom like that. So I like to just say, my ID window is about there. So right under this top stitching that I did, I'm going to do another row of stitching. That prevents my ID from going all the way to the bottom. Okay, let me show you. So now my ID is all the way in there and it's not going to move. It's not going to go down and be lost. It won't get lost. Now we're going to fold these wrong sides together. And we're going to top stitch, creating a slip pocket. Leaving your ID window top open. Okay. Now you could baste around this if you wanted to again, but you don't really need to since we did that top. And so now this is open for our ID. Love it. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is grab your other slip pocket piece, and you can still barely see my lines. On step 26, she tells you to make some lines up from the bottom. So there's 3 lines there. It's probably really hard to see, but they're there. Now we're going to start adding some of our card slots. So take one of these card slots and we're going to add it right on the top line that we drew and baste across the bottom. I think it's, let me see. Yeah. 1/8 of an inch or so. Just across that bottom. This stitching won't be seen. Then we're going to add a second one of these across the bottom on that second line that we drew. And baste across the bottom. I'm giving up on my black. Then grab one of your square card slots, like this, oblong really, and we're going to add that across the, on that last, oh, wait a minute. Card slot 2, 1, 2, 3. No, we need one more of these. Card slot 2. One, two, three, yeah. Yeah, sorry. Do one more. One more. So there's 3 of these odd-shaped ones, and then the square one, oblong one. Okay, that's what it should look like on the back. And then we're going to add one of our oblong ones across the bottom. Okay, now she doesn't have you sew that next. I'm just making sure these all are good. Yeah. We're just going to go and baste the sides down. We're not going to do the bottom yet. 1/8 of an inch on the sides, just to hold everything together. I forget there's a reason we don't do the bottom. It'll become apparent here in just a minute. Okay, so now they're all secure. Let's test a card though. Let me see. There's 1, 2, 3, and that one will fall out, but they all fit now. Perfect. Perfect. All right, next step. All right, with those card slots that we just made, it's kind of hard to see them because they all look the same, don't they? We're going to just fold it wrong sides together, matching the bottom, and stitch across that top. Again, creating a little slip pocket. Okay, so we have 1 card slot, 2 card slots, 3, and 4. Okay, now grab this lining piece that's kind of crazy long, and in the directions she tells you lay it right side up and up, make a horizontal line up from the bottom. What she tells you. Okay, and I'm just going to use my air erasing pen. Take this one that we just created with our card slots, and we're going to lay that on that line. Let's see, where's my line? There it is. Right at the top. The bottom of it is at the top. I'll show you here in a second. I didn't think about that all my pieces would look the same. So there's that line that I drew up from the bottom, and we're laying this piece that we just created right on top of that line. So that's what it looks like. It's right here. I know. Sorry. I didn't think about it. It would be nice so you could see the difference. And we're going to just sew down the sides. And the bottom. We're going to sew the bottom. That's why we didn't do the bottom. Okay. You could have done the bottom, but you'd have an extra row of stitches, so. Okay, perfect. So now you have those completed 4 card slots there. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, next step. Okay, make another line up from the bottom, and it's going to be extremely hard for you to see. I even have to look for my line. There it is. Up from the bottom, about right there. Okay. And then a 1/2 inch down from that, we are going to put one of these oblong card slots. I'm trying to find my line. Right there. And just clip the sides. And then we're going to baste across the bottom. Okay. Then take another one and lay it again down. I think it's let's see. Yeah. All right, so we're going to do that again, and she tells you the measurements in the pattern. 3 more times, or 2 more times. Okay, 1 more. She gives you really good measurements. That Holly is very smarty. Okay. Then grab one of your square card slots and add that one. And again, we're not going to sew the bottom, I don't think. We're going to sew the sides. Securing all those card slots in place. I think we could actually do the bottom. Nope, she says do not sew the bottom at this time. Don't do it. It's tempting, but don't do it. Okay, so you have card slots up here, and you have card slots here. We have not sewn the bottom. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Then we're going to add our, let's see, turn the wallet lining so that its top is facing down towards you. And repeat the steps to attach the remaining card slots and the one piece. Okay, so here's our mark. So it feels weird, our mark that we measured up from the bottom. And we're going to add these here. I know it feels weird. Here's the card slots that we just did. And then this is the top. There's a reason for her madness. I remember the first time I did this, it took me, I had to read it like 25 times. I apologize. I should have, if I'd been thinking, I would have made this a different fabric so that you could see it a little better, but I didn't. So, okay, I just added another card slot at the place she told you to. Okay, and we're going to use our last piece like this, and we're going to lay that there. And base that one down. Okay, and then your last oblong piece. So now we have 3 sets of 4 card slots. And we're not going to base the bottom, we're just going to do the sides. Oh, I just ran out of bobbin. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, let me grab my bobbin. Okay. And we're going to base this side down. Where's my side that's not basted? It's this side. Just make sure nothing moves on you. Perfection. Okay. So here's just a recap. We have 4 card slots here. I know it's hard for you to see, but there's 4 good card slots there, and I did so across the bottom. Here, there are 4 card slots on the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. I haven't sewn the bottom yet. And when I turn this over, I have 4 card slots, but they're going this way in the bottom. In the middle, I should say. Okay, next step. So the next thing is we're going to add our ID window to the bottom of this whole piece. And stitch around 3 sides. The sides, the bottom, and back up. Okay, I just love it. Okay, so when you fold that, you're going to fold at that 7 7/8 mark that we had originally marked. So I folded that, and you're going to fold it wrong sides together. And what that gives you is these 2 credit card sections should align, and they do. It's just a miracle. Now we are going to stitch across the bottom. So we're going to stitch across the bottom here and then top stitch here. Okay? I know. Trust the process. Okay, so that's what I have now. And then I'm going to make a stitch across this card slot, but it should also catch the back card slots. well. It should. Let's see how it did. And it did. So here's the card slots here, and now I closed off that one. Oh, I apologize, you can hardly see. And then these are closed off. So I have a bunch of threadies here that I'm just going to burn. These will all be covered, but you know, it kind of drives me crazy to have a bunch of threads hanging out. Okay, perfect. Now, where's our little 2 binding pieces? So now what you have is this section here that ends up being an extra section of card slots. This is where the binding is going to go on each side. It's not connected to the wallet except on the bottom. Okay, so take your 2 binding pieces that we did earlier, and we're going to lay those along this piece that kind of hangs out all by itself. And we're going to fold that over so there aren't any raw edges. So this is what it looks like. That's on one side and that's on the other side. We're going to repeat that with the other piece. And you want to get it right on the top so that there's no top showing. In other words, you can't see the raw edge on the top. So see that? There's no raw edge of this piece showing. Now we're going to stitch all the way around that in closing that. Just make sure you don't have either of this piece underneath there. So I'm going to start here in the middle, actually. Go up, over, and back down. Oops. No whoops. And then back up. And meet your stitches. That has just created a nice little binding there. Okay, just like that. Now we're going to repeat that on this side. Okay, so easy, really. All right, let's just clean all this up. Perfect. So that's what you have right there. So you have 4 card slots here and 4 card slots here. And we're almost done. Next step. All right, she tells you a measurement to measure up from the bottom of your exterior piece. This is gonna, see this hole? This is going to fold up and be where the top comes down. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my female portion of my snap. Oops. I got 2 male portions. Oh, please. Okay. Take your female portion of your snap, and I'm using a rivet, magnetic snap. Because there's no interfacing here, I did put a piece of Decaville Heavy there. Okay. And I'm going to go press that. I am not going to add the top one until I have the whole thing done, so I know exactly where my placement is going to be. So let me go press this. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to lay our interior on top of our exterior, and just kind of like we say, do a little dry fit. Make sure it fits in there good. Oh my gosh, and it does. I love it. Now I have a little, let me see. No, it actually is perfect. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit of tape here so it stays where I want it. Okay. While I fold my sides in. I don't want it moving around on me. So let's pull that off and we'll add that to begin with. Let me pull you up here so you can see better. Okay, so you have lines that we drew at the very beginning. So we're just going to lay it right there in between. And then take these paper off this tape. Yes, do it. Okay. And then just remember, this is all loose here, which is what you want. And we're going to pull that down. Make sure your sides are nice and even. Oh my gosh, that really is nice. Make sure that your zipper pocket is not bunched up underneath here. Oops, underneath here. Okay. Now we're going to just start folding our sides. We're going to fold the bottom up first. Oops, you got to get that out of the way. Fold the bottom up first. I love it. She tells you to do it a certain way, which I totally agree with. And then we're going to do our, oh yes, we have to put a little clip in. I forgot that. Where this piece is, clip right in there. Just directly across from it. And then we're going to fold these sides in. Y'all. It's a beautiful thing. Now I'm going to add a couple clips just so it stays where I want it. Okay. Then we're going to sew this portion from here down and around and back up. And I'm using the edge of my zipper foot as a guide, so it looks nice on the outside. Yep. Okay, perfect. All right, then we're going to fold this piece down and out of the way, and we're going to finish folding in the sides. She has you do the top first, which is fine. I did mark for where from the pattern piece, where the top magnetic snap is supposed to go. We'll see if it ends up being where I want it to be. It's different almost every time for me. Okay. All right. Let's fold these sides in. And it gets really kind of thick right here, so don't hesitate. I'm going to actually clip a little bit of this away. It's a little thick for me. Yeah, better. Okay. I'm going to cut a little more. So this is where that dry fitting is really kind of important. It gets really thick here where all your card slots are. There we go. Perfect. Just work it. That's what I say. Just work it. Yeah, it's catching my the thickness of the zipper tape. There we go. Okay. This side I think is okay. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. And then fold the top sides in. And before I do that, I'm going to add a little piece of Decaville Heavy there. So I have a little cushion for the other part of my snap. So I have a little dot there where I think it is going to be. So I'm just going to add a little piece of Decaville there. Yeah. Because there's no interfacing, you know. There we go. Okay. All right, let's clip these. All right. And we're going to stitch the rest of it down in place. I'm going to start down here and go all the way around. And this extra piece is out of the way. It's headed down. Yeah, I just realized ripstop would really be good for the card slots because it's so thin. I just thought about that. I don't know. I think it would. Alright. Now, let's add the other snap and then we're going to be done. Now, if you didn't connect these, don't worry about that. Right there's a little, about 1/8 of an inch that didn't connect, and I'm okay with that. It's kind of going to be on the bend, so you really never see it. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. And if you have a little dog ear anywhere, just clip those off with some sharp scissors. Perfect. Okay. So now I'm trying to decide, I want my snap to be like right there. Yeah. So it's going to be down a little bit from where I wanted it to be, but that's okay. Okay. Let me get my hole punched. Oh dear. Oh dear. I'm dropping everything. Okay, let's punch that right there. And add our snap. And I think I dropped the top to my snap. So let me find that. Hold on. All right, guys, here it is. So that's where I went ahead and did my snap. You have 4 card slots here. Let's test them. Oh, that's a slip pocket, sorry. You have a slip pocket there. Then you have 1, 2, 3, 4 card slots there. And in the middle here, you have 1, 2, I'm testing them, 3, 4 card slots on that side, 4 on that side. Perfect. Then you have your ID window, and then you have another slip pocket. So you have 2 slip pockets, 12 card slots, and an ID window. Then you also have a little baby zipper pocket right here. Big enough for a few coins, a key. There it is. Absolutely cute, cute, cute. See where your tag ends up? Right below that zipper pocket. Oh my goodness. It really holds a punch. I love it. I call it the mini architect wallet. She calls it the darling wallet. And it is absolutely a darling wallet. It's a mini architect wallet with a little twist, really. Very cute. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Give me a thumbs up. Bye-bye.